I used to say that things like the Apostles' Creed were useless relics of a bygone era, medieval metaphysics, a random bundle of religious doctrines about things that have nothing to do with life in the real world. But now I say, it's the story of the cosmos, a gateway into life with the God who is. And because of that, it changes the way I think about everything. And we've already seen that all of us are practicing a religion of some sort. So, am I going to practice the religion of me-ism, the world according to me? Or am I going to be open to something broader and deeper, something not confined to the biases of a particular moment in time? But what about a creed? What about a set of understandings that comes from a broad range of people with a wide set of experiences? What about the conclusions of people of different cultures, different languages, all around the world? A set of understandings that has been vetted and tested for over 2,000 years, and yet is still changing people's lives for the better today. What if, with all the bickering between different denominations, there was a basic set of beliefs that all Christian denominations could agree to? All 40,000 of them. Considering how people fight and disagree about almost everything, isn't it practically miraculous that there should be such a thing? There is. It's called the Apostles' Creed. Now, some would say, oh, the creeds of the church were created by councils of bureaucrats for political reasons hundreds or thousands of years after Jesus walked the earth. Well, whatever one thinks of other creeds, you can't say that about the Apostles' Creed. It rose organically. It wasn't decreed by any council. It arose from the worship of the first Christians as they baptized people into this new thing upon the face of the earth, the revelation of Jesus Christ. It arose before the canon of the New Testament was even settled. For example, we find Irenaeus of Lyons in around the late 100s saying that the church preserves this creed of ours. And then he makes the very points that the Apostles' Creed makes. Hippolytus of Rome in 215 AD wrote down his baptismal formula, which is virtually identical with the Apostles' Creed. And of course, the Apostles' Creed can be easily reconstructed from the New Testament documents themselves, some of which were written down by 48 AD, while people who knew Jesus were still alive. It turns out that the Apostles' Creed is not some random bundle of religious doctrines from a bygone era. It is the story of the cosmos. It's the story of the cosmos dehydrated so that it was easy to remember and easy to carry. It actually tells the story of the world in chronological order, from the beginning to the end. In terms of the Bible, it starts with the first words of Genesis and ends with the last words of Revelation. Now, as to the Bible, some people say, I don't believe in creeds because I have the Bible. But if both white supremacists and Martin Luther King quoted from the Bible, it's clear that interpretation is involved when you read the Bible. But that doesn't mean you get to make up what it means. The Bible does not mean whatever you want it to mean. It means what the original authors intended it to mean. Most of the New Testament consists of letters. Think of the last time you wrote a letter to someone. Weren't you actually trying to say something? To make a particular point? How would you feel if someone took your letter and made it mean something completely different than what you intended. The Creed isn't an alternative to the Bible. It's a pair of reading glasses that helps you see it clearly. It's a gift from the early church to help us understand their intent, to help us understand the big picture of what the first Christians experienced in that singularity in history, the advent of God, breaking into space and time. Here's another way to think about the crucial role the Apostles' Creed can play. The role it can play when it comes to understanding what Christianity actually is. Remember when you were a little kid at the bowling alley? They put up these things. I think they were called bumper guards or gutter guards or something like that. But anyway, what they did was they kept your ball from rolling into the gutter. They kept you in the game. Your ball could roll all over the place from left to right as it slowly rolled its way down toward the pins. But it couldn't roll so far to the left or to the right that it fell off the edge into the gutter. That's what the Apostles' Creed does. It defines the bumper guards that keep you from going off the rails. It's like the perimeter of a big tent, a really big tent, so big that all 40,000 Christian denominations can fit inside it. It gets you into the general ballpark when it comes to understanding and interpreting the Scriptures. It gets you into the general ballpark while giving you all kinds of freedom of interpretation and expression. It's not something that divides us. It's something that unites us, that we hold in common. It's not some rigid thing that takes the fun out of life or faith. It's the very thing that keeps you in the game. It is a statement about who God actually is and what God is actually like. But it is more than a statement. It is the lyrics of the most amazing song of hope. But like lyrics, it is just dead words on a page until you add the music. And the music can be found in life here and now because God is present here and now. That's why I hope you will join us as we dive into the deep end, exploring the Apostles' Creed at thecreedproject.com.